Fain would they put out the light of Allah with their mouths, but Allah disdaineth aught, save that He shall perfect His light, however much the disbelievers are averse.
Well, Allah, some Muslims are the ones who are too ashamed of your words, that they are very busy putting pressure on YouTube to delete videos containing your light. No, Allah, this unbeliever, like Dr. Bill Warner, Christian Prince, and many others, is not too shy to show the world what you call your light. You see, Allah, your light is just useful like a candle burning in bright daylight. It is being outshone by a better and stronger light.
Looks good, fantastic. I was just very busy. I was actually wanting to prepare a topic on Muhammad's wickedness. That's what the title of this chat is about. And I wanted to sit down and just so that everybody goes through the whole summary of Muhammad's wickedness again together here. I wanted to get all the relevant sources that I can get about Muhammad's wickedness. But then something happened. And I have to talk about this. I announced right here earlier today that Mohammed Hijab agreed to have a debate with me. Because 2 days ago, I challenged him to a debate. I said, hey, I hereby challenge Mohammed Hijab again to a debate, and here are the conditions. Condition number 1 is that the topic is Islam the truth? Condition number 2 is that it's going to be moderated, it's going to be on a third-party platform, and so forth. He then insisted that he should also have the right to personally insult me, to personally attack me. He said, I just demand complete freedom of speech. I cannot hold back. I need to personally insult you because I hate you. And I said, fine, whatever. I know that you hate me.
Hold on right there, because that's interesting, because when I debated him, it was actually made a condition of the debate from the Muslim side, from the Muslims who are arranging the debate. The Muslims are arranging the debate, and it was required that we all agree, no personal attacks, no insults, no going off topic.
Wow.
Keep it friendly the entire time. I agreed and stuck to it. Hijab agreed and violated everything, every single thing we agreed to. So that's just kind of strange. I don't know why. I don't know why he would say, no, I should be able to insult you. I don't know why he wouldn't say, I don't know why he wouldn't just say, yes, we agree that we're not going to insult each other, and then just do it. That's what he's done in the past. Now, maybe he's worried that because it's not Muslims who are moderating, that if it's a third party, that he'll actually be stopped on it. And so maybe it's that. But yeah, I'm actually surprised that he's trying to come up with terms that he's actually going to stick to. But you said you'd be fine with insulting. That's funny. That's like me, right? I'm fine with people insult. I know I make fun of your prophet all day long. I know that. I know why you want to insult me. I get it. But what I do have a problem with is demanding that I agree that we're going to follow these rules, and then people don't follow the rules at all. That I got a problem with, because I'm always, if you're talking about insulting, well, guess what? I insult your prophet. So, I can't have very hard rules against not insulting. Breaking an agreement, I would never do that. You could saw my head off. I would not break an agreement like that. But so anyway, go ahead. I just wanted to jump in there because
that's very good. That's very, very, very relevant, because the thing is, when I challenged him first, I had a conversation with him like a month ago or so, a month ago and a half. And I said to him, hey, if you want to debate these topics with me, because he was texting me on Twitter for some strange reasons. I don't know. He was apparently in some a rare moment of kindness. And I said, hey, if you want to debate these issues with me, I will be happy to have a debate. The only issue is that I don't want any personal insults, no personal attacks, no getting into each other's business. We're just going to debate, stay on topic, and that's it. He then said to me, because I hate you, I could even put this on the screen. I should actually put this on the screen because it's so hilarious. He said, because I hate you, I will not be able to to hold back and not insult you. Wait here, let me put this right on the screen. Actually, let's see this for everybody to see right here. That's how confident and how professional the Muslim apologist is. Look at this. He said, I must be a man of my word. because I hate you, I would not be
Wait,
able.
hold on. A man of his word. David, we must all agree that there is to be no insulting during this debate. Wow. Go.
I must be a man of my word. Because I hate you, I would not be able to avoid personally attack you if we speak. If you allow me to say whatever I want, I can talk to you or have a debate, but I will not be kind. On Twitter, I can give basic dawah to you as I am now. So he's saying that he hates me, which I do understand, because he's supposed to hate me. That is part of his ideology. He's supposed to hate for Allah and love for Allah. And I am obviously a very problematic critic of Islam. I am an ex-Muslim. I criticize and insult his holy prophet, which he loves more than his life. So he's supposed to hate me, and he basically admits that here. And so I go ahead and say, I thought so. Attacking me is part of your philosophy. That's a big compromise for me. For honesty, I would ask you to apologize for accusing me of committing and or endorsing incest, which he clearly did, completely baselessly, and insulting my mother and sister, which he also explicitly did, and then cited Islamic scholars to explain how he is allowed to use that according to his Islamic teachings. I said, but that's not a requirement. We can debate live online with moderator. So this is what happened. That's what I said. I don't want him to personally insult me. I don't want us to turn this into a whole, business where we insult each other, where we attack each other, where we become very filthy and all that. But since he insisted on that, and since I really wanted this debate to take place, I said, come on, fine, okay, you're allowed to insult me. What happened afterwards is that a few days ago, I sent him this challenge again, because after this conversation, he suddenly disappeared. And went away. This conversation never happened. A few days ago, I said, hey, here's my final call. I challenge Mohammed Hijab to a debate. It will be online, it will be live, it will be moderated, timed, and so on. He then replied and said something like, you are not trained and not qualified to have a debate with me, which is why I refused to have a debate. So he explicitly rejected to have a debate. He then said, if you want to have a Zoom conversation with me, I can do that. And we all know how that goes. He sends a Zoom link to people, makes a giant show, doesn't let the person speak, and so on. I said, no, you can have a Zoom conversation with your small-minded followers. I'm going to have a debate with you if you want to have a debate. And I called him a coward. I mocked him for a day or so, since he's the guy who usually insults and harasses people. He then finally couldn't deal with all the mockery, and he then said, okay, I will agree to have a debate. What he did then is to play with the conditions that I offered. Eventually he agreed that we can have a debate on a third platform, on a third-party platform, moderated by somebody else. And I wanted to suggest this guy, where you had your debate with Matt Dillahunt, the modern day debate. I thought, hey, that's a pretty good place, very neutral, very good moderator. Let's go and have our debate there. He tried to chicken out there for quite a while. Eventually he accepted that too. Everything done, I announced today that Mohammed Hijab has finally agreed to have a debate with me on the topic of, is Islam the truth? That I'm excited that we will announce the details very soon. And I said this will take place online, everybody will be able to view it. And suddenly he comes back tonight and says, he says something like, the apostate has just squeezed in another condition that this should be online. I don't agree to an online debate. I wanted to have an in-person debate, which is why this debate will not take place. That's very funny, because previously he actually explicitly agreed that we would have this debate online. In fact, let me bring this up.
Whoa. Based on what you're saying now, I can't believe, because as we all know, Hijab is a man of his word.
Of course he is, yeah.
He said it. He said so.
Look at this.
No compulsive liar, no deceiver would ever say that he's a man of his word. Wow.
Look at this. Let me go through this. I want to show the dishonesty and the moral wickedness of two Muhammads here. One is the coward Muhammad from the 21st century that we are talking about today, and one is the other dirty Muhammad from the 7th century. I want to talk about both of them today. Let's first talk about the coward. I want to show some of the screenshots here. Look at this. Look at this. These are in no particular order. I want to go through these. Look. He said here just today, Apis, he's trying to insult me with my Apostate Prophet name, has not conditioned an online platform and is desperately trying to wriggle out of seeing me in person out of sheer fear. Why would I be afraid to face him? Like, what is there? Is there something? Is there something threatening about him? Is that what he's trying to imply? Is he a threat to people? This field is not for you. If you want to be a polemicist, you must be brave. I would retire if I were you. So he's saying, I never told him that this would be online. Funnily enough, as you can see here very clearly, I said we can debate live online with moderator. Fine, I will give him the benefit of the doubt, I thought, and assume that he may not have seen this. But then, look at this. He made this poll yesterday. It said, is it reasonable for both me and Apostate Prophet to upload the online debate on our respective channels? So he clearly acknowledges that this will be an online debate.
I'm not understanding this because, again, Hijab is a man of his word.
Look, then this happened. Look, he made this tweet. I said, this is getting exhausting. You're avoiding the confrontation and acting like it was my fault, when 2 days ago you didn't even want to debate. Online was specified here and in my video challenge to you. Oh, I also made a video challenge in which I also clearly specified that this will be online. Nothing to the contrary was specified ever. Say yes and let's start. And then this follower of mine who was kind enough came here and said he knew you challenged him for an online debate. He even acknowledged that in his poll question posted yesterday. and look what Mohammed Hijab says next. There is a difference between an expectation and a condition. You didn't condition me to an online debate, and it was not a non-negotiable for you. So why would you let this debate not take place because you fear meeting me in person? So I want everyone to understand what's going on here. He's referring to several conditions that I made a few days ago. Conditions like this is a topic, it will be moderated, it will be timed, and so on. Like, just several conditions for when the debate takes place. He agreed to those, and he clearly planned that the online criteria was not part of the conditions. He let all of this go through. He never said anything about anything in objection to the fact that this would be an online debate. And at the last moment, when I started announcing to everybody that we are now going to have a debate, he suddenly said, well, I want a face-to-face instead, not an online debate. You have never made the online condition, which means you are afraid of me. You should just stop doing this. You're obviously not brave enough for this issue. What happened afterwards is you should all go to Mohammed Hijab's Twitter page. He started insulting me, threatening me. He said, ha. So he acknowledged that this was explicitly mentioned and acknowledged by you, but you deliberately agreed to the listed conditions because they didn't contain this obvious detail, just so you could chicken out, you coward. Of course, he didn't take this very well. Look what he posted next. Apis, I want to give you sincere advice. I think you should commit suicide. Not because you're a talentless coward or because you're a waste of space. I think the world is offering you more pain than pleasure. It is not morally objectionable for you, so why not?
I guess that kind of makes sense. I mean, since his in Islam, Muhammad is the pattern of conduct for the world, and when anything would go wrong for Muhammad or anything would bother Muhammad in any way, he would rush up to a mountain to hurl himself off. And the angel Gabriel had to constantly rush to save Muhammad from jumping off a mountain and jumping off of cliffs. I guess that's now ingrained into Mohammed Hijab's mind that, hey, if you think something's not going well for someone, then tell him to go kill himself, like our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Yeah. It is also very funny. So here is Mohammed Hijab clearly telling me that I should commit suicide on a public platform. Of course, he couldn't take the heat of what he has done here, but he is really revealing what Mohammed Hijab is about. Mm-hmm. After 5 minutes or so, he deleted this tweet, which was of course too late because everybody screenshot it and started retweeting it.
It's like him trying to delete the video with Yasser Khan. Too late.
Too late. Where's the delete button? Where's the delete button? He first tried to cut it. He tried to cut it out, right? And then they tried to delete it, but it's all over the place.
Yeah.
They deleted that both, right? Yasser Qadhi deleted it. And
both did from their channels. I mean, I wasn't paying attention to the video on Hijab's channel, but I saw. I think it was Jay Smith said that in a video that Mohammed Hijab had scrubbed it from his. But I mean, think about it. He scrubbed the entire interview. He had already cut out the part, the holes in the narrative part. Hey, we've got this cute story that we tell amongst ourselves, but it actually doesn't work if you talk to actual scholars. It only works when we're talking to people who have no idea what they're talking about. Yeah. And but I will say, Hijab there saying, I'm a man of my word. It reminds me of Yasser Qadhi in that interview when Yasser Qadhi was saying, I'm only going to speak the truth. I can't say other things because I'm only going to speak the truth. And I'm thinking, I have seen you lie over and over and over again. The video that I just posted, it's about a short video of his, it's only a few minutes long. And I realized earlier today that this video would have to be, my response video would have to be like 40 minutes long if I went through just the lies in this short little video clip, right? And it's stuff he knows, right? If a Muslim wants to say, I believe that the Quran has been preserved reliably, well, that could be true. He could actually believe what he's saying. When Yasser Qadhi said in 2012, this is a 2012 video, when Yasser Qadhi said that there is not a single letter difference in any two Quran manuscripts anywhere since the time of Uthman, he knows that's a lie, right? You had who did you have on your channel who actually went through differences between the Hafs and Warsh?
Abdullah Gandal, he was here.
Yeah. So he's actually showing those are clearly differences. Now, if you want to, the point here is, if you want to say, I believe that these differences can be reconciled with the Qiraat and stuff like that, and you want to say it can be reconciled, that's one thing. To say that they aren't there, to say that there is not one single letter of difference anywhere since the time of Uthman, he knows that's a flat out lie. Then he goes on, he also says that when Uthman decided to burn all the Quran manuscripts and to issue his standard one, he says everyone agreed, there was no objection. That's another lie. Abdullah ibn Masud was freaking out, telling people to hide their Qurans to keep this guy. And he specifically commanded his followers, do not copy Zayd's Mus'haf. Don't copy it, right? And here's Yasser Qadhi saying, and everyone agreed that this is a great idea. He specifically said everyone calls it a great idea. Yeah. And you've got Muhammad's top reciter of the Quran saying this is the worst idea in the history of Islam. Do not do this. And so you had that, and then, but it's just one thing after another. And then it was an issue of, he was saying that the reason all these other manuscripts had to be burned was because they were 7th, 8th, 9th generation copies. And that's why they had to be burned. And that's absolute nonsense, right? Abdullah ibn Masud's Quran was his first generation copy, right? He puts that together. Ubay ibn Ka'b, his Quran was a first generation copy. These guys are all ordered to hand over their Qurans to burn them all. And so it's just, he knows all of this, right? If a young 18-year-old, 16-year-old, something like that Muslim told me this, I would not think he's lying. I would just think he didn't know what he's talking about. When Yasser Qadhi, who's been through the sources like almost no one else in the world, I mean, this guy knows the Muslim sources. When Yasser Qadhi, who knows the Muslim sources and was educated at Yale, starts saying these things, it's clear he's just a complete, utter, total liar. So then when he's being interviewed and he says, but I only speak the truth. It's like, what are you talking about, right? You're a liar. You're a liar. And then he blurts it all out. And then, of course, he's being interviewed by Muhammad, I'm a man of my word, Hijab, who does nothing but lie, right? And so it's just amazing this sort of fantasy world that these guys live in. And what's even more amazing is, it's sort of built into their community. I'm not going to say all Muslims, because there are Muslims out there who have tons of integrity. I'm talking about the people who are drawn into that crowd, like Mohammed Hijab's actual fans. They do not care, right? Mohammed Hijab, if they find out that Mohammed Hijab agreed to a bunch of terms for our debate, and then he violated all of them, they do not care. You deserve it.
I know.
You deserve it. You mock our prophet, therefore he's under no obligation to keep any agreement with you. If Mohammed Hijab made you 50 promises and swore by the great God Allah on every one of them, and then broke every one of them, and you told his followers they would not care in the slightest. It's built into the ideology that deception, when used towards people like us, deception is a virtue. We look at deception as a bad thing. There are certain situations where I would say, like, if during World War II, if you're hiding Jews in your attic to keep them safe from Nazis and stuff like that, well, that's deception. I would say that's you're fine with that sort of thing. But with them, it's like deceive as much as possible in any way possible, and that's a good thing. And Muhammad said war is deceit, and so they take deception, deceiving the enemies of Allah as a virtue. The more you can deceive, the better it is. And so it's just amazing that we know that's the case. Their followers can see it. Everyone sees it. It's obvious. And yet these guys will run around bragging, we're men of integrity. We only speak the truth. We're men of our word. And they're the biggest liars on the planet. This is what a religion, man. What a religion.
Well, you have to think about it. In their religion, in Islam, it is clearly permitted to, if you are at war, you are supposed to, number one, hate the disbeliever. You're supposed to hate what Allah hates. You're supposed to hate those who wage war against Allah and His Messenger. And if we criticize Islam, and if we, use the proof and the criticism and the language that we're using, which is quite appropriate for Islam, then we are under their conditions, we are waging war against Allah. So it is their obligation now, as a response, not only to hate us, but also to wage war against us. Mohammed and Hijab and people like him, Muslim apologists, and people who follow that crowd, now consider themselves at war with us. Of course, they are not able to directly, physically wage war against us because the conditions are not there, because the Islamic caliphates have been defeated. There is no more Islamic conquests going on against the infidels in the world. They don't have the power anymore. They don't have the means. They live in the UK or in the US while glorifying Sharia. What they do now, therefore, is to wage this intellectual war against us. So we are their opponents. We are their enemies in this war between Islam and disbelief. Because to them, this is how the world looks. Here is Islam and here is the disbeliever. All disbelievers are one. We are all one against Islam. That is what they learn. And then they wonder why all these people unite against them. It is because that's what you learn, and that's how you treat others. So they consider themselves at war with us, with humanity, with the disbelievers. And at war, they are also allowed explicitly by their scripture and by their prophet to use deceit, to use every filthy, disgusting tactic to win, to defeat us, to smash us, to crush us, or whatever you want to call it, to finish us. And that's exactly what they're doing. When Mohammed Hijab comes out here and lies to us and, deceitfully lies to everybody, including to his own followers, he's just doing that. He's just being deceitful in war. That is what is happening here.
Yeah, I have no doubt that basically when he went ahead and agreed to a debate and then realized that, hey, this third party is actually going to be neutral. No, we need to have it in person. We need to do that. I have no doubt that he's thinking, okay, I'm going to get this to where it's my friends as Muslim moderator somewhere where we're meeting, and then I can break every agreement that we've actually made for the debate. Of course, and it'll be fine. Yeah.
He doesn't want to be limited. He doesn't want to be behind a system where if he breaks the rule, he will be muted or stopped. He doesn't want that to happen, which is why he wants to have this in person. He wants to be right there and wants to violate every rule that we have agreed on. That is what he wants. I see no other explanation to this. My condition was very clear. I want a debate. I want an online debate. We will do this live. Everyone knows this. So there is only deception, only dishonesty, only filth. And afterwards, after everything has been agreed and the agreement has been announced, to then say, I want it face to face. We never agreed to have an online debate. It is disgusting. It is simply filthy. We both know how Mohammed Hijab is a giant liar. I think he's even here in the chat right now trying to attract attention. We all know that he's a coward. We all know that he has lied to many of us. We know that he lies to his own audience. He previously insulted me and my whole family. He lied about them. He said that they were engaging in incestuous activities. That's what he said. And by the way, my mother is a Muslim. And my sister should also be, as far as he knows, you know. So that's the kind of person that he is. He takes us out of context, he lies about us, he slanders us, he does all of these things, and then he seriously comes out here and says, I'm a man of my word.
Yeah. I actually love that. I love it, and it's tough to it's tough to explain why, but you know, AP, there's a part of me that hopes you debate Mohammed Hijab and that he crushes you.
I want it. I want to be destroyed. Why?
Huh?
Why? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, it's weird because obviously I hope the main part of me hopes that you crush Mohammed Hijab and show that Islam is false and so on. But there's another part of me. Let me take you way back. I'm going to take it. Almost everyone who knows me says I constantly think like a military general. I don't do that on purpose. That's just how I think. But this is going way back to 2005, 2006, back in those days, when I started looking for Christian Muslim debates because I would watch them with people, and going back to like 2002, 2003, 2004, I'd watch them with Nabil, and so I was looking around for debates, and I noticed almost all the debates were on Christian topics. And almost all the debates were with these very gentlemanly Muslim debaters like, Jamal Badawi and Shabir Ali and so on. And I was always thinking, when I read the Muslim sources, these guys don't seem like real representatives. I mean, Islam is much more thuggish in nature, right? It's much more chest thumping, right? I mean, we read in the Muslim sources where you remember you had those two brothers and one of them starts going out and killing, goes on a killing spree, and his brother's like, whoa, anything that can make you do that must be the true religion. So his brother converts to Islam because this guy's going on a killing spree. Yeah. That's the mentality, right? Whatever makes you most violent and aggressive must be the truth because you're so passionate about this. And Nabil explained that to me because he partly had that kind of thinking that if something is making you passionate enough to go out and, like that, then it must be something true. And he said that's the Islamic mindset. And so it's basically, I'm looking at, these nice, calm debaters, Shabir Ali, and they're quoting sources. And I'm just thinking that is one, that's not that's not an accurate representative of the real spirit of Islam, which is aggressive, deceptive. Why are you guys putting Shabir Ali out there and so on? And then the other thing was, again, that almost all of the topics were on Christian topics. And so I thought to myself, those are the things that have to change. One, you need to get Islamic topics in there, and you have to actually compel them to address Muslim topics. And so for about a decade, I focused on doing that. And the reason the way I did it was, okay, if you, Zakir Naik, are not willing to defend Muhammad, then I'll find other Muslims who will. And then the other people would say, oh, but you're debating this guy and he's not Zakir Naik. I said, well, Zakir Naik's not willing to debate. I'm going to this guy. Because everyone, Christians up until then, they would say to a Muslim organization, you choose who your champion is. And then they would choose their champion. They would say, we only agree to do these topics. And then so basically they set all the rules, right? And we are only going to address a Christian topic. And they used to say back in the day, this used to be conditions of lots of debates with Muslims. This is before your time, AP. But it used to be a condition. If you criticize Muhammad or the Quran in any way, in any portion of this debate, the entire Muslim audience will get up and walk out. Really? So yeah, this was a condition back in the day. So I'm looking at that and saying these are the things that need to change. So one, need to get Muslim topics in there, and two, you need some debaters who are better reflect the true spirit and heart of Islam. So ended up getting it. I've done like 7 or 8 debates on Muhammad by now, just by using that approach and now it's pretty standard to have a mixture of topics, and to insist upon as many Islamic topics as there are Christian or non-Muslim topics. But the other thing that happened was I sort of cycled through a bunch of Muslim debaters and never really found someone. What you're looking for is someone who could be really popular, someone who could win the support of the Muslim community, but who's going to be aggressive, deceptive, condescending, nasty, angry, thumping the chest. Oh, I'm strong. Oh, I'm the strong one. Oh! So really get the Muslim community riled up. And hey, there's our champion, right? Because here's the thing. They don't get riled up like that for Shabir Ali. They just don't. They don't get riled up like that for Jamal Badawi. There are nice, calm, reasonable Muslims out there, but there's also this massive portion of the Muslim community that is looking for someone who's thumping their chest and me refute you, me crush you, me strong, right? They're looking for that. Yeah. And I'm saying, where is their champion? So we're sitting there going through all these debates, and I debated Bassam Zawadi and Abdullah Andalusi and Sami Zatari and Farhan Qureshi when he was still a Muslim. All these guys, none of them were that. None of them were what that part of the Muslim community was looking for. And then Mohammed Hijab came along, had no idea who he was, paid no attention to who he was, debated him, and then I realized that's the guy, man. That is the guy who could be more popular than Zakir Naik.
That's the accurate representation. Yeah, I get it.
Is tapping into the spirit of Islam, and he will be massively popular. And dude, I said it, you can go back to video clips, you can go back to my discussion, go back to 2018 when I first noticed that this is the guy, right? That this is the guy I've been waiting for since 2004, 2005. It's the guy who is a better reflection of the true spirit of Islam, which, as Muhammad and his followers are going out, it's, hey, look, we're violent here, we're aggressive, we treat everyone else with pure contempt, we have no respect for honesty, we have zero integrity, we will lie to you in a heartbeat, we will deceive, we will crush you, and we're going to be thumping our chest and saying that this shows that God is with us every step of the way. And I saw Hijab and his community, and guess what? The overwhelming majority of the Christian community, I don't know about the atheist community, but the overwhelming majority of the Christian community, they look at this and they go, no, we don't want to deal with a guy like this. We want someone respectful like Shabir Ali. And I'm thinking, guys, you don't know. You're giving people a false impression of Islam when you have these gentlemanly scholars and so on come along and represent Islam. You're not showing people what Islam is really like. If you want people to know what Islam is really like, you need a different kind of Muslim champion, right? Yeah. Hijab comes along, he's giant, he speaks with complete condescension towards everyone around him. He's hurling abuse, he's hurling insults. The Muslims are cheering for everything he said. He is so good at it that he can actually, you can give an argument against Islam, he can completely agree with exactly what you said, but act like he's refuting it, and the Muslims will cheer. Mindlessly cheer, right? Don't you remember that when I said, hey, according to the Quran, Allah prays for Muhammad. Muhammad gets up. David, it's not to Muhammad, it's for Muhammad. And the crowd it's been destroyed. It's like, wait a minute. It's exactly the sort of person who is like Muhammad, someone who could, because if you look at the Muslim sources, you look at Muhammad was saying some of the stupidest things. I'm talking about Muhammad the Prophet here. Muhammad was saying the stupidest things anyone has ever said in the history of humanity, and yet he's persuading people. Why? He just sounded like he knew what he was talking about. He sounded like he's giving answers to these questions when he's saying some of the dumbest things ever. Anyway, you got someone like Hijab, and he's really tapped into that. So here's the thing. I said this. You could go back to 2018 after I noticed this, right? After I actually realized that this was the guy. This was the guy we've been waiting for. I said, guys, if we can actually get Muslims focused on this younger generation of chest thumping Muslim apologists, if we can marginalize the Shabir Alis and the Jamal Badawis and these guys, and actually have people like Muhammad Hijab and Ali Dawa and these kinds of guys representing Islam, these guys will destroy Islam from within. Their egos are too big. They're already massively aggressive. They're already extremely arrogant. If they then get hundreds of thousands of followers supporting them, their egos will go through the roof, and they will simply destroy it. They will destroy Islam from within. I said it. I said it. That was 2018. Here we are, 2020, and Hijab is literally ending the careers of top Muslim scholars, right? And destroying. I said, guys, if we can actually get Muslims focused on this younger generation of chest thumping Muslim apologists, if we can marginalize the Shabir Alis and the Jamal Badawis and these guys, and actually have people like Mohammed Hijab and Ali Dawa and these kinds of guys representing Islam, these guys will destroy Islam from within. Their egos are too big. They're already massively aggressive. They're already extremely arrogant. If they then get hundreds of thousands of followers supporting them, their egos will go through the roof, and they will simply destroy it. They will destroy Islam from within. I said it. I said it. That was 2018. Here we are, 2020, and hijab is literally ending the careers of top Muslim scholars, right? And destroying confidence. Destroying people's confidence in the Quran. There's been nothing like this in my lifetime that came through the Quran, the story of the Quran, the narrative of the Quran, like a wrecking ball, like Mohammed Hijab just did in his interview with Yasser Qadhi. Nothing like this. I mean, this endless material. And so we're in this situation.
That's funny. I want to say that. It was always expected that we, the enemies of Islam, would destroy Islam, and that's the talk. And then it is the one of the biggest contemporary scholars and one of the biggest apologists coming together and destroying Islam so massively that they have to delete it to make it disappear, which will not happen.
Yeah, and the reason for that is the younger generation of Muslim apologists, they don't have the kind of wisdom about what you need to keep off limits and what you need to keep quiet and what you need to not comment on and what you need to you shouldn't discuss in public. They don't have that. It's full speed ahead. We'll crush everything that gets in our way. And Islam is proven true by everything, so they want to bring everything to the surface. And I knew it. I could tell these guys would destroy Islam. And that's why I said there's a part of me that hopes hijab just crushes you, because I don't want him to get less. I mean, think if you went in there and wrecked Mohammed Hijab, and then people stopped following him, we're not done with Mohammed Hijab yet. He's going to be too useful to us, right? Think if he just ended Yasser Qadhi, it's like it was a joke, right? Get out of here, Yasser Qadhi! Boom, done. I mean, Yasser Qadhi was a guy who just a few years ago, James White was bowing to this guy. You're my source of all information on all things Islamic, right? So he's sitting here praising it, and now he's gone. He's done. No one wants to come within 1,000 miles of this guy. And and here's the thing, hijab is just getting started. So what I'm worried about right now is that hijab is going to recognize, whoa, I need to be more careful, man. If someone tells me he doesn't want to talk about something, I need to not talk about it. I'm worried about him pulling back, looking at the damage he's caused, looking at the Muslims who are apostatizing because they recognize that their beliefs about the Quran are complete nonsense and that it was exposed on Muhammad's channel. And then seeing hijab and Yasser Qadhi and all them delete it, and all these Muslims are going, what? Why are they deleting all this stuff? What did they come watch this stuff on our channels because they're deleting it on their channels, right? I'm thinking, hijab might actually pull back and say, hey, I need to grow in maturity and so on before I go out there like this. But if something happens where he crushed the apostate prophet, then everyone would cheer him on again, and that arrogance and narcissism would fill him again. And then what would happen? Well, he would go out full speed ahead. And who's going down? Zakir Naik's about to get crushed by this dude, right? Everyone's going to get crushed. He's going to tear everyone else down to lift himself up, and it would be a beautiful spectacle to watch. And so again, I'd like to see him refuted. But when I'm thinking, when the military general side of me is thinking, I'm thinking long term, I really want hijab to be the representative of Islam out there. I want him to be bigger than Zakir Naik. And as horrifying as that is to other people, no, why? Why the guy who thumps his chest and just told AP to commit suicide? Why this guy? Why this guy? I'm thinking exactly why. That is exactly why. All of the things that we find repulsive. So we don't want all of the character traits that we find repulsive, and we say we don't want those anywhere near. Those are part of Islam, ladies and gentlemen. And so you need people who exhibit those characteristics and those traits so that people understand what Islam really is. So yeah, I mean, think about it. If you could have Muhammad, the actual Prophet Muhammad, in the room, or you could have some nice gentlemanly Muslim in the room, you would rather have some nice gentlemanly Muslim in the room with you. But if you really wanted people to understand Islam, you want the Prophet Muhammad covered in semen, with 9 wives, and you want that guy. That's the guy you want in the room to give people a real impression of what Islam really teaches. Anyway, I know I went on a big rant there.
No,
but
it's good. It's good. It's good. I started picking apart a few things. It's so funny. This guy's telling me all day. Has been telling me for several days now how unworthy and unimportant I am, and how he cannot waste his time with me. He has more important things to do. He's right here in the comment section. He's right here spamming the live chat. He's watching our stream here, making the dumbest, most childish comments that I've seen in my live chat so far. It's really incredible how much you are embarrassing yourself, dear Mohammed Hijab. I really. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say it's kind of funny because over on my channel, me and Sam Shamoon, we had Muhammad Week. We said any Muslim, one or two Muslims at a time who wants to call in and join us live, we will give you time to make a case for your prophet, for why people should believe that you are a prophet, that Muhammad's a prophet, and that we would then have a friendly discussion about your reasons. And all the Muslims are saying, Muhammad Hijab will destroy you. Ali Dawah will destroy you. These guys just never call in. And it's the same Adnan Rashid. And it's funny because Adnan Rashid and Fareed Responds and all these guys, they have all the time in the world to make videos about us. But when we invite them on live, hey, you can talk to our entire viewership. They don't want to come near it. They don't want to come anywhere near it. And it's to defend their prophet. And guys, I'm sure you're not shocked to find out, but it is difficult to find Muslims who are actually willing to defend their prophet. They want all of those topics off limit. They don't want to come near defending their prophet. And so
let me tell you something. Speaking of Ali Dawah, Mohammed Hijab is right now doing exactly what Ali Dawah did. He's doing exactly that in different ways, but he's kind of doing what he did. Ali Dawah, several months ago, maybe half a year ago, maybe more, I don't know. I've completely lost my perception of time since then, dealing with these people. He asked me, he said, hey, I will destroy you, you boy. I don't even know what that means.
We'll get smashed.
I will destroy you, this and that.
We'll get smashed.
Come here, face me. Be a man, face me. And I said, yeah, Khabib. And I said, okay, Ali Dawah, I will face you. Let's have a debate. Let's meet up, either here in America or somewhere else. I don't know. Let's meet up and have a debate. Suddenly, Ali Dawah disappeared and started making excuses, started insulting me, started making completely weird statements about me and my private life that he thought I was engaged in. I don't know. He turned it around like that. He challenged me first. I said, okay, let's have a debate. And then he suddenly chickened out, started insulting me, went away. Mohammed Hijab said half a year ago, I will destroy you. You're a cockroach. Your followers are sheep. You are, I don't know, a boy. You're finished. I will destroy you like Khabib. And I said, I came out. I said, okay, fine. Let's
like Khabib. Did you actually say like Khabib, or did you add that? Because
he made some MMA references, like when we lock eyes, you will crap your pants, and you don't have the muscles, you're not physically ready. What has physically ready to do with debating Islam, you moron? Anyway, so I agreed to have a debate with this guy, and he made excuse after excuse after excuse to chicken out and go away. I really want to repeat one thing here. I challenged Mohammed Hijab. Am I centered? I don't even know. I challenged Mohammed Hijab 2 days ago. I challenged him actually 1 month ago. I challenged him 2 weeks ago, and I challenged him 2 days ago, 3 times. I want to make it clear again, despite the horrible, idiotic, childish behavior that he has been, that he has been presenting, that everyone can clearly observe here, right down here in our live chat comment section, which he doesn't want to attend, of course, because he has more important things to do, because he's the great Mohammed Hijab. I challenged him before. I challenged him 3 times. I want to challenge him again, despite everything that he has done, just because I want this debate to happen. I want to debate Mohammed Hijab as we have agreed over the last few days in an online debate. I want to have an online debate with Mohammed Hijab. I want to sit down. I want to have a good moderator, modern day debate. The guy is a very great moderator, is very neutral, very kind guy. Has a good channel where many great debates are being held. David Wood was also there and had a debate. Matt Delahanty is there having a debate, and so on. I want to have a debate with Mohammed Hijab right there. Mohammed Hijab's only condition, explicitly said by him several times, his only condition is that he will be allowed to personally attack me. He wants freedom of speech because he hates me, and he cannot hold himself back. He needs to attack me. I grant him that permission. It's fine. You can attack me. You can personally attack me. You can insult me. Whatever you want. If that's your nature, if that's who you are, and we all, I guess we know that by now, then do that. No problem at all. But sit down with me and have a debate about whether Islam is the truth. You know very well, I told you from the very beginning that this was going to be an online debate. If you want to accept it right now. Right now. If you don't want to accept it and keep going on about, oh no, meet me face to face and this and that, then get out and be known as a coward. And you should know that within the following days, I will break this down. I will document each step of your behavior, of all your approaches, of all the different ways that you have tried to evade this simple debate. And I will make a nice video, put it out there and show to the entire world, including to your own audience, what a giant coward you are, Mohammed Hijab. Here's a final chance for you.
Yeah. So think about this. One, he's saying, you're not worth the time, and he's too busy and stuff like that. But he hangs out in the chat while you're live streaming. He probably hangs out in all your chats.
Yeah, he's probably always there.
Just finally couldn't control himself and commented. But think about this. So he's either pulling a Zakir Naik move, right, where he knows you don't want to, travel somewhere and set up a debate in person. But notice, I mean, if you're saying you're not worth it, you're not that important, well, that would make more sense for an online debate, right? Because then, hey, it's easy. We don't have to travel. If I'm not that important, then obviously we should just have a quick online debate, no problem. So why would you want to make a big event out of it? But two, notice, I pointed out earlier that Hijab is always looking for some advantage, and so what I would guess is that like Zakir Naik, he wants to stack the audience with Muslims who are going to cheer for everything he says, even if he says something that completely agrees with you, even if he just repeats what you just said. The audience will cheer for it, right? I know Christians from India. They say when Zakir Naik does an event, they said when he's doing an event in English, they said that the audience will be stacked with Indian Muslims who do not even speak English. Mm-hmm. They're just trained. When everyone else starts cheering, then cheer like crazy. Or when he raises his voice in a certain way, start cheering like crazy. So you have thousands of Muslims in an audience mindlessly cheering for things they do not understand, in order to give the impression that he's saying really awesome stuff. I would guess Hijab is trying to pull a stunt like that. You can't do it online. If it's one-on-one and then a moderator online, you can't get that crowd into it, mindlessly cheering for every dumb thing you say.
I explicitly planned this. I very clearly planned this. I think it is quite obvious how I planned it this way and how I presented my conditions. I know exactly what Mohammed Hijab does. He goes out there, he goes with his little gang, he builds a stage where his guys are present, his little guys are present, where he has the footage, he streams it to his channel, he controls the debate title, the description, the comment section. I mean, just look at the comment section of the debates that he has. The comments are so restricted. Negative comments are not allowed, and he has to approve every comment that comes in, and he only approves comments that are in favor of Islam. That's how he conducts his debates. You can see that very clearly.
The other comments get abrogated.
Yeah,
like his discussion with Yasser Qadi.
So Mohammed Hijab manipulates public opinion whenever he has an encounter with somebody else who challenges him. He also does this typical thing where he wants to act like an MMA fighter and stand in front of a crowd, have a bunch of Muslims there, and just have these childish exchanges with them, like ask them to raise their voice and to applaud him, and do all these weird things. Just look into the room for validation, because he has nothing in his head and he has no confidence, and his faith is a bunch of garbage. That's why I very clearly designed this and said it's going to be an online debate. You will come out of your comfort zone. You will be there in a room where you're not in your typical environment. We will have a neutral moderator so that we are both in the same conditions. We are both in the same fair conditions. We will have rules. It will be online, and you will not be able to have any possession of the debate footage. The debate footage will be exclusively owned by a third-party platform. I clearly designed all of this exactly because of his past disgusting behavior. And
no, you
didn't do
it. You filthy kafir. Let me tell you what the rules are going to be. We're going to meet in person, and the moderator is going to be Muslim, and you have to agree to a bunch of rules, which I'm not going to follow at all. I'm going to break everything we agree to, but you have to stick to it. I want the room stacked with Muslims who are going to cheer for anything I say, and then I get the footage, and then I'm going to delete all comments that are critical of me in any way. Those are the rules. That's what we call a fair debate in Islam. And if you do not agree to it, you're a coward. You're a coward. You're scared. You're scared to meet me in person. You're scared.
He's scared of me. I destroy him. You're
scared you get smashed like my boy Khabib did.
Khabib, watch some MMA. I was already. I was getting ready. I was getting into the mood. Like, he finally told me that he has accepted my conditions. He's going to have a debate with me. I was putting some MMA videos in line. I was trying to, go to the gym. I was going to hit the gym to get my muscles here in shape. I was trying to find out more about the story of Khabib and how he defeats his enemies, his opponents, how he smashes and destroys them. I was really preparing here, but unfortunately,
I did want to say though that the reason it is so awesome to do what we do right now, the reason this is so fun is that the other thing, I talked about things I planned in 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, these times, when I'm thinking, hey, what needs to change and what needs to get done. And, for years, I don't say this stuff in public because you don't want to know your plans. But I've come to realize that, massive portions of the Muslim community, they sort of can't stop themselves, right? They can't say, oh, David said this, therefore we'll do something else. So I could pretty much say exactly what I'm thinking. There's nothing they can do about it. They're sort of locked into their approach. But the idea is, my goal, when I thought of what is like the dream situation, if you really want to do damage to Islam, if you want to see Islam, the ideology, crumble in our lifetimes, what do we need? And I just thought, well, Islam is really personality and authority based. I'm sure you've experienced this probably tens of thousands of times, AP, where you can give an argument, they don't respond to the argument, they attack you, right? So it's So it's I lay out my argument and then, you can't trust David, he doesn't speak Arabic. You can't trust Apostate Prophet, he was not a real Muslim before, right? It doesn't matter, right? It's to discredit the person. It's like, wait a minute. If I lay out an argument, if I say all men are mortal, Socrates is a man, therefore Socrates is mortal, that argument stands or falls on its own merit. It doesn't matter who it's coming from, right? I'm irrelevant. Exactly. That could be coming from a man, could be coming from a woman, could be coming from an atheist, could be coming from a Christian, could be coming from a Muslim. The source doesn't matter. It's whether the argument is good or bad. In Islam, the main goal of their apologetics is to discredit the person who's giving the argument, in order to convince Muslims that you should not listen to the argument, in which case you do not have to examine the argument or respond to the argument. So I basically recognized years ago, man, we could get into this dream situation, this perfect fantasy world situation. Like, you couldn't dream of a better situation than this if you want to really blast away at Islam. If we can get into a situation where we are blasting away constantly, endlessly, daily. We're blasting away at the foundations of Islam. We are discrediting Muhammad. We're discrediting the Quran. We're shattering the myths that their entire religion has been founded upon. If we can get into a situation where we've got our canons and we're constantly blasting away at the foundations of Islam, but Muslim apologists are so enraged at us, and their ideology somehow compels them to be authority and personality based, we'll get into a situation where they're blasting away at us, constantly attacking us, trying to discredit us. Meanwhile, we're blasting away at the foundations of their religion. If we can get into that situation, they're done. The ideology is done. It's a matter of time. The reason it's a matter of time is, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I'm inconsequential. AP is inconsequential, meaning we're not foundational to anything. You could say you like us and we do great work. That's not the same thing. There are other people who can come along and do great work. There's no one else who can come along and be Muhammad for Muslims. There's nothing else that can come along and be the Quran. If Muhammad and the Quran and the myths that they're founded upon are shattered, there's nothing else, right? So if we get into the situation where we're going after the foundations of their religion, but they can't stop attacking us personally. Guess what? If we do massive damage to Muhammad and the Quran during our lifetimes, and by the end of our lives, they convince us, oh, don't believe in them, they're jokes. Great. What have you done? We weren't relevant. We weren't relevant to anything. There is no ideology that depends on us, right? Islam depends on Muhammad and the Quran. So if we're discrediting Muhammad and the Quran and you're discrediting us, you lose. You lose. Yep, you're going to lose, and it's a matter of time. So I've been thinking about that, getting into that situation. And then I look, and then there's like 40 Muslim channels that are all dedicated to attacking my videos and attacking me. And meanwhile, I'm blasting away at Muhammad and the Quran constantly, and they're attacking me. And I'm like, do you not realize you've already lost? Done. You're done. We're locked in. Might be 3 years, might be 30 years, but you've already lost this one.
Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. That is one of the, I mean, that's kind of in the direction of why I wanted to have this debate with Mohammed Hijab. This is, the topic is very clear. If you look at the history of Mohammed Hijab having debates with people, he never, ever debates Islam itself. He never debates the truth and the theology of Islam itself. He debates about morality, which you can debate about forever. It will not do a thing. He debates about other ideologies. None of that will do a thing. I want to stand with this guy and just debate about Islam itself. The core, the foundation of everything that he believes in and that his followers believe in. I knew exactly that he would never accept this debate, unless maybe he will be pushed enough that he won't want to be a coward, won't want to be called a coward anymore, and will probably maybe eventually accept the debate, which will be a huge mistake for him. But I knew exactly that he would do everything to run away from this. I will still publish a video about what a giant coward he is, because he has demonstrated it so badly and he has been a disgusting individual. But please, everybody, let's have this debate. Let's have this conversation. Let Mohammed Hijab defend Islam itself directly, and let him explain whether Islam is the truth or not. I'm not even being arrogant. I'm not trusting myself here. I'm not making myself this big guy. I'm not caring about defeating somebody or smashing somebody. I don't care about that childish nonsense. That's not what I am. That's what these people are about. I just want to sit there and have a genuine conversation between these two people, me and him, about whether Islam is the truth or not. Very simple, nothing else. I know he does exactly what you were just saying. He doesn't even come after my intellect or my education. He targets my body, my muscles, my fighting abilities, my fitness. What the hell? What are you talking about?
You could not stand up to Khabib. Khabib would smash you, boy.
This
is the power of Al-Islam.
Al-Islam.
I love this. It's funny. It's funny we're sitting here making fun of it, but I'm sitting here thinking I love this dude, man. I could not. If using my limited creative abilities, if you had said, David, design the perfect representative of Islam that you want for the future, I could have come up with like 85 to 90% of Hijab, but he's better. He's better than I could have dreamed of. I wouldn't have dreamed of the like 6'8". It wouldn't have entered my mind. I wouldn't, because there just aren't a lot of people like that. So yeah, I was just, he's just, wow, what a, this is awesome. This is awesome stuff. Oh yeah. Check this out. So I got this video clip.
Well, by the way, I have to say something. Don't forget what you're saying. The stream was called Muhammad's wicked morality, but we have spent an hour talking about Muhammad Hijab's cowardice instead. So I changed the topic. And made it Muhammad Hijab's cowardice. I'm very sorry about that.
Yeah, you can always change the topic afterwards so that people who are clicking on it know what they're going to do. I do that all the time. Change the topic after we find out what we're actually. Sometimes topics change. Yeah. But Hijab. So in our debate, when I said, hey, look, according to Quran, Allah prays for Muhammad, Hijab got up. This is a career-ending mistake for David Wood. He doesn't know Arabic. Let me show you. It's not Allah. It's Allah prays for Muhammad, not to Muhammad. And the crowd burst into cheers. Right? Said exactly what I said. Allah prays for Muhammad. Right? Now check this out. Now obviously after the debate, he caught some flack over that, and people were asking about it. I got a video of him talking to Hatun Tash. And notice, I can make a video about this right now. I talked about it on a live stream way back in the day, but I can make a video out of this to really show this guy's character, because I don't remember what it was. A week or two later, he was at He was at Speaker's Corner, and Hatun Tash asked him, "Well, why did you say that Allah prays for Muhammad? You admitted that Allah prays for Muhammad." He said, "No, I didn't. No, I never said it. I never said it." And then so she starts looking for the video clip. She starts looking for the video clip of him saying it. And then, paraphrasing here, we could find the clip to. I still got it on my computer, but we could actually look at what he said. But think about this, ladies and gentlemen. He's talking to Hatun Tash, and then he responds to Hatun Tash. He goes, "Oh, I get it. You don't speak English very well, so you're confused. You think I said P-R-A-Y-S, praise, he prays, when I said P-R-A-I-S-E, praise. See, that's your problem. You don't know English." And then, of course, his fans, his little crowd at Speaker's Corner all cheering. And I'm sitting there looking at that going, wait a minute. There is no way that's what he said, right? You don't say Allah prays for Muhammad and P-R-A-I-S-E. It doesn't make any sense. He would be the one who doesn't speak English there if that's what you were saying. But he knows that he's talking to Hatun. English is her second language. But notice the parallel, right? When he's talking to me, he agrees with me completely, lies about what I said, and then, it's because David doesn't speak Arabic, and his fans cheer. Then he's talking to Hatun. He does the exact same thing, except he lies about what he said, and then attacks her English ability. And then his fans love it. Yay! Muhammad destroyed her. And I'm like, this is your champion, Muslims? A guy whose primary tactic is lying and then attacking your language ability and then getting a crowd who can't follow anything that was said but are going to mindlessly cheer for it. This is the champion. And we discussed that in a live stream back then, and it was shortly after that was shortly after the debate, but it was shortly after that I realized I'm actually going to stop going after this guy, because I want this guy to blow up in popularity for a while. Let him blow up for 5 or 10 years, become bigger than Zakir Naik, and then they will have this the great ape of apologetics here. With Ali Dawa, his biggly. You're probably too. Are you too young to know what that means? Biggly, what? You don't know what that means?
No.
There was a cartoon way back in the day with Grape Ape. That's not an insult. He was just this giant. He was just this giant, 40 foot tall. And then he was so big that he would skateboard on a van. And then his buddy was Biggly. And so in my generation, you called any really giant person, you just called him Grape Ape. Like, hey, Grape Ape. And so that's what comes to mind when it's a job. But my goodness, right? This is the method. And guess what? Here's what's amazing. They love it. His fans love it.
I know.
You could sit 1,000 of his fans down, line them all up, and say, "Okay, I said this. He said the same thing. Made up something that I didn't say. Then agreed with what I said. Then claimed to destroy me on language. Then, in case you thought that was an accident, in case you thought no, maybe he just slipped, he wasn't paying attention or something, it was an accident. He then goes somewhere else in a completely different part of the world with a woman." Does the same thing, lies about what was said, then attacks her language ability, then gets all his fans to cheer. Do you guys have any problem with that? They don't. As long as it sounds like, as long as you give the impression of victory, as long as you are thumping your chest, as long as you're doing that, they love you. And so this is why I say, man, you cannot have. I challenge every one of you out there. Show me a representative of Islam who should be a Muslim apologist, who should be representing Islam in debates. Show me someone who would be a better reflection of the true heart and spirit of Islam than this guy who just told AP to go kill himself. Who's better? There is no one. It's the total package. Deception, aggression, all of this stuff. Gosh, man. I said at one point, at some point, like probably over a year ago, I said, man, if I didn't actually want my money to be used for dawah, I would actually fund these guys. I would bankroll them to take over the Islamic apologetics world, because that's recently what happened with
this guy that was over at my channel for a discussion, Daniel Hikikachu. I invited him here. He made a complete idiot of himself. He said the most horrible things. His logic was so incredibly awful. he really departed from here, sent people over who clearly have Muslim YouTube accounts who come here and say stuff like, I'm not a Muslim, but I have to agree with Daniel Hikikachu here. And they go around insulting me for days, slandering me for days, making stupid little cut videos. And the people on my channel are just all saying the same thing. This guy, Daniel Hikikachu, has done more damage to Islam than you did in 2 years. That's what they're telling me.
Yeah.
That's what these people are doing. But you know what Mohammed Hijab reminds me of? People like him. When I was in high school. Sorry, I don't want to be that guy right now. I don't want to sound like a nerd. But I don't
think you can help that, AP. No turning back on that one now.
When I was in high school, I thought, there was there are groups in high school. In a classroom, there are certain groups of people, and I would sit there and I would try to study through my stuff, still have these conversations with people, and then there is this group in the corner of the room of these completely mindless, idiotic people. They have one leader who is who is doing all the talking because he's the only person who is remotely intelligent, and he has no clue of anything that is going on, in the world. But he's just trying to impress his little people in the back by saying these tough things, by saying these cool things, by trying to bully people, by trying to make completely idiotic remarks about the world and about everybody else. And those people behind him just cheer for him and just applaud him, like, yeah, that's right, yeah, you're my guy, bro. And everyone wants to hang out with him. That is exactly the mentality of Mohammed Hijab. I thought these guys were idiots when I was in high school. And I see Mohammed Hijab, he completely reminds me of just those people. I don't see a difference. I kind of understand it when you do stuff like that when you're 16 years old, Mm-hmm. If you do stuff like that when you're 16 years old. But we have a guy here who's like, I don't know how old he is. He's like close to his 40s or something, and he's still acting like a complete little moron. And I know you're a Christian, David. I don't want to get into these things, but I bet you are seeing what he sees, what Mohammed Hijab is currently saying in the comment section.
Last comment I saw, he was saying, I should give you a golden shower or something like that. Yeah, just in case everyone is not familiar. So earlier he told the Apostate Prophet to kill himself, and now he's saying that I should urinate on the Apostate Prophet. Now, for
sexual pleasure, by the way.
So this is Europhiliac.
This is your representative, dear Muslims. Yeah. This is the guy that you are all proud of.
And here's what's interesting, right? There are tons of Muslims out there who would be horrified at this, saying, "Whoa, not." And there are other Muslims who, yes, tell them to give them golden showers. Just like, you smashed him. Your boy got smashed, right? There are people like that, but guess what? When you go back to the Muslim sources and you ask who's a better representative of Islam here, what did Muhammad say? If anyone brags about his lineage, tell him to go bite his father's penis and do not use a euphemism. That is a quote from Muhammad. What did Abu Bakr say? In the presence of Muhammad, when they had one of the unbelievers here, he said, go suck Allah's clitoris. Yep. Go perform oral sex on your goddess. That's how these guys talk. So when you see someone like Hijab, golden shower, me Hijab, right? That's exactly what Muhammad and his companions were like. Exactly, right? That's exactly what they were like.
Mohammed Hijab is supposed to be this morally amazing representative of the Muslim community who fights against the Islamophobes because he represents Islam, which is of course in possession of this amazingly great morality. Here's a series of four or five screenshots that I have just taken from all the stuff that he has said in the comment section. Number one, Mohammed Hijab said, "Get on your knees for David Wood." This is your Muslim apologist to your Muslims. Number two, David Wood can give you a golden shower. He is very familiar with that term. He said, "Go ahead and give David Wood what he wants." He's of course implying again something sexual. Get on your knees for your master, boy. That's what he also said. He's still going on. This is just the stuff that I got so far. I wanted to talk about the wicked morality of Muhammad here in this live conversation.
You're done, dude. You got it. You got everything you need.
I have the wicked morality and the cowardice of Muhammad from the 21st century, of Mohammed Hijab right here. It's right there. And all inspired by Muhammad, by the holy prophet, by the amazingly moral prophet Muhammad. This is what you people are.
And it's funny because he can't even, he can't even come back later and say that's not him because it's got the check mark by his name on the screenshots. Yeah.
It's got the check
Wow.
mark. And you can go on his profile.
You
land directly on his channel.
You can make endless videos. Again, I'm gonna let him slide for a while longer because this dude is too useful. This dude is too useful to what we do. He's basically amplifying it, right? He's amplifying everything we want. We say, hey guys, the Quran's been changed. The Quran's been altered. We try for years, and all of a sudden, Mohammed Hijab, in an hour and a half interview, completely just destroys the faith of Muslims in the Quran, right? Yeah. I've been trying for years to do that. He did it without even trying. That's how awesome this guy is. That's our new champion, man.
Mohammed Hijab with his check mark that he got from dear YouTube by telling people that people should be executed for leaving Islam, is now crying and telling people to take a golden shower and to give each other oral sex.
AP, think about it. We can't get check marks, right?
Yeah, see, I can't get a check mark. Yeah.
Yeah. YouTube's like, no, David, an apostate prophet, you can't get check marks because you criticize Islam. We'll give a check mark to the guy talking about getting on your knees and getting a golden shower here because he's the guy we like at YouTube.
Yeah. I want to call him Mohammed Golden Shower Hijab from now on. That's what I want Mohammed Hijab to be from now on. Mohammed Golden Shower Hijab. That's what Mohammed Hijab. That's stuff that I don't say. I'm supposed to be the guy who has no morals by his as he says it, who has no standards, no morals, nothing to stand on because I'm an atheist, and he's supposed to be the morally superior guy. I would never go out there and say, hey, you should give each other golden showers.
Yeah. I mean, for real, we blast away at Muhammad, but we don't have to make stuff up and because it's all there, right? We could go around saying, hey, why don't you go follow someone who's covered in semen? We don't have to make that stuff up, right? They do that, right? So it's it would never occur to me to talk like that anyway. Here's the thing, AP. If I were to go around talking to Muslims like that, I would be called out endlessly by Christians. I would have thousands of messages from Christians the next day condemning me, saying, how dare you say that? You're a horrible representative. And here you have the new champion, the Khabib of Islamic apologetics here. Golden showers. Get on your knees for him. Go kill yourself. And Muslims love it, man. They love it. Not all. You have a different kind of Muslim out there, but the ones who actually have absorbed the spirit of their ideology, perfect. You can't get better. You can't get any better. Show me. I challenge 1.6 billion Muslims, ladies and gentlemen. Show me one person in the world who deserves to take the reins of Islamic apologetics more than this guy.
I have to say, there are definitely Muslims who will appear here in the comment section or after this live chat who will go out and say, hey, I completely disagree with what Mohammed Hijab has said. He has acted disgustingly. This is not how we act. There will be Muslims who will go out and say that. I have no doubt about that. Although I have to say, I suspect that most Muslims who say that they don't agree with Mohammed Hijab's approach will also say, but Apostate Prophet deserves this and this and this and that and that and that. But of course, I grant it. There will be Muslims who will go out there and say, I really don't agree with Mohammed Hijab's very immoral and disgusting behavior. But here we are. We have currently the biggest representative that these young Muslims are so proud of. The biggest Muslim apologist that these people are so proud of. He's telling us to take golden showers. By the way, to all the viewers, to everyone who's in the comment section, please let me know how you like the idea of having a poster back there of Mohammed Golden Shower Hijab. That would be a fantastic thing for my background. Tell me what you think.
AP, and I mean, think about this, right? This is the guy. This is the guy who's being put. He's being put forward by Zakir Naik, right?
Yeah.
Zakir Naik's calling him, right? And then you've got Yasser Qadi going on shows with him. You've got all these Muslims going on shows, and he's over here, golden showers. I mean, See, I told you I'm not interested in going after Mohammed Hijab except for in a fun way. But right now, Muslims are locked in. They've got nowhere else to go. They're going to Mohammed Hijab. He's going to become your champion. It doesn't matter what he says, and he's proving it right now. Right. So I'm not interested in going after him. But you could in theory use this against Zakir Naik, and as more problems with Yasser Qadi, right? Say, Zakir Naik's new champion talks about, and then you've got, the golden showers and stuff, and say, this is the guy that Zakir Naik is championing and telling to go out and represent Islam. Wow. Now we're understanding a lot about Zakir Naik and what he really thinks.
And when it is said unto them, What hath your Lord revealed? They say, Mere fables of the men of old. And when it is said unto them, What hath your Lord revealed? They say, Mere fables of the men of old.